everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, my name is Kat, and for today we are going to be doing, for the very last time this year, new makeup releases. And I am very interested to see if it's just going to be a massive anti-haul yet again, or if there are a bunch of things that I like. So we're gonna jump right into it, but real quick before we do, this eye look, I am literally like, let me come in close here so you guys can see all of this business that is happening. I'm in love with this look. It is so nice. And if you guys are curious as to what I use to make it, I have two green Copacetic Cosmetics palettes. And the one, this guy right here, is the Spelunking palette, and this one is the Enchanted Garden palette. And it is just, the combination of these two is just all of my green dreams that I have ever wanted. I love my eyes. Like, they somehow have a bluish to green to brown, like I don't even know, but the multi-chromie shift that is going on with them is just fan-freaking-tastic. And because it's Christmas, boom, I have my antler ears on. So if you guys are ready to begin this this makeup show, let's go ahead and get this started. I'm gonna slide to the side and we're gonna pop right in. And right off the bat, the first thing is another Copacetic Cosmetics quad. And this one I think is just super duper pretty, very appropriate for the holidays. All of the purpley blue vibes, just love it. It looks like it does include at least one of the like flaky glitters that they have, which in this palette, they have the flaky. This guy right here, so you can see it's kind of bumpy looking and really weird, but it's essentially their swing on like pressed glitters, but it's a flaky glitter, and so it's not nearly as risky for your eyes, and it just creates this really cool topper that you can kind of blend out that's really pretty. And it looks like they do have one of those as the purple shade on the top left. The top left, I think. So that is coming out, and they do have a subscription box that you can subscribe to every month, and I have done that. Very excited to receive my December one here at some point soon. I know that they were a little bit behind because of just the madness that was the Black Friday sale, and so I think they're kind of behind on all of their orders right now, but I'm very excited to get mine. But they do also, you don't have to do the subscription to get the quads, and so that's just kind of something to keep in mind. I think that normally she releases the quads like a few weeks after the month has begun or something like that, and so you are able to backtrack and get all of the previous month's palettes in case you didn't want the subscription. The second release from Copacetic Cosmetics is their Plum Fairy, Sugar Plum Fairy collection, and I think it's like 5 or 6 different shades that they have, one of which is that awesome fun flaky glitter, and then several metallics, and I think maybe one matte that's that reddish matte. But these shades are also just beautiful, and so I'm definitely planning on picking up a few of those, definitely including that flaky pinkish glitter that's in the middle there. That looks very pretty. Like, it could end up being a super cute like pink topper. I think that would be real nice. I think I'm definitely gonna pick up a few of these shades, like this, that like navy-ish metallic, and then the purple that's mostly cut off, but like it's all the way up at the top. Those are gorgeous shades, and so for sure gonna pick up some of those as well. Man, okay, just no. This thing. I mean, okay, so for those of you that don't know, in the military, we have these things called MREs that are meals ready to eat, and it is essentially just bags of food. Essentially, there are little brown bags of food. You get like whatever meal in there, whether it be like spaghetti and meatballs or like stew, or they've tried to improve things in recent years where you get like pizza slice or like hamburger, whatever, but it's essentially food that you can have out in the field while you're on maneuver or training or whatever it ends up being. Lots of different types of food. And so this makeup brand has decided to make a rainbow palette out of that. And I did double check, and I believe that the owner is Prior Marine. Awesome that she served. I always appreciate that. But I think if it were up to me and I was going to make a palette based off of the MRE, I would go hard into the paint with the MRE. Like, I would not make a rainbow palette. I would make that sucker into like all of the oranges and browns and greens that you could think of, and just go real hard into like the colors of the food. So it would probably end up being like a neutral palette with like pops of green, yellow, and orange. That's what I would do. But I also just, so the MRE portion where it says Magnificent, Radiant, Elite. I don't know if anybody else on here has seen that video where it's the Marine wife that she made this video on TikTok.
Core values simplify. Oorah, he's a Marine.
Whatever that was. I feel real bad for her husband. I'm surprised that she was able to get him in the video with her, but that's what that reminds me of. So I love that they call themselves Badass Beauties, but I just can't handle the MRE twist on there. Other than that, I am very excited to see what else they come up with, because if they do make a product that is military related, where they're like leaning into it real hard, I could easily be convinced to get it. But this particular one was just not it for me, so that's a pass. But then we have from another brand that I haven't heard anything interesting from in a while, is NARS. I love the NARS foundations and concealers, but as far as like eyeshadow palettes go, they're very meh. This collection looks meh again. It does, however, look like it's in perfect timing for like Valentine's Day, because you have like hearts all over the eyeshadow palette cover, and then there's like little red butterflies all over the blush. I think it's a blush duo, could be blush bronzer, I don't know, depending on your skin tone. And then a whole bunch of neutral nude lips. I don't really need any of this. The eyeshadow palettes, it's a neutral palette, and the metallic shades that are on there are metallics that I have probably way better in another palette from a different company, and so I don't really need those. I have the blush that I also like from NARS, and so I don't really need a duo, and especially not one where it's not a barricade between the two, because I'm just gonna mix those together and then you're just gonna have a weird blushy bronzy mess. So I don't particularly need any of this, and I hate regular lipsticks, so don't need the lipstick either. Then we have from Spoiled Lips Cosmetics a new eyeshadow palette, and I do have one of they had like a Halloween release that was really cute, that was based off of like witches stuff. That was a collab that was really cute, and so I do have that. I have not tried it out yet, but this particular one, I don't know what it is about the lips on the eyeshadows, but it kind of bothers me. I don't normally mind having some form of indentation or imprint on there. That's normally fine by me, but for some reason the lips, they bug me. So this particular palette, which honestly has like the colors of spring to me, like this would be a really nice spring palette, it just it rubs me the wrong way. So I'm not particularly interested in this one, but perhaps future ones. They do have a couple palettes that don't have the lips on there, so maybe in the future they will release another one that doesn't include the lips, although I know that because it's literally the name of their company is Spoiled Lips, perhaps I'm just talking out of my ass on that one, and it's not really like, I'm just not the one that's getting it, but I don't like it. Then we have several makeup releases from MAC Cosmetics, which, as we know, I hate MAC at this point. Like, their lip products, like, just a disaster for me. So that means that the lipsticks that they came out with are gonna be a no, big fat no. But the packaging, I actually think is super duper cute. I love neon shades, and I think that koi fish are really cool aesthetically. And so I think the packaging is really nice. Like, I gotta hand it to them, it's really nice. The highlighter and the blush duo, especially the highlighter that has the two koi fish in there that are imprinted on there. Like, I know that I just said like a few minutes ago that I didn't like things being imprinted because I didn't like the lips, but these koi fish, I think that's really pretty. And so I might try out the highlighter. Just maybe. Not 100% sure yet, but maybe. But the blush duo, hard no. Again, there's no barrier between the two shades, and I just kind of feel like the packaging on top of it, I don't like that as much as I like the highlighter one, because the highlighter one is semi see-through, and so you get to see a little bit of that highlighter, which I think is really pretty. But the blush duo, it's just solid on the outside packaging, and I don't really like that as much aesthetically, so I don't need to buy that at all. And then the final thing from MAC is this eyeshadow quad that is literally 4 pressed glitters. I feel like I don't need to say anything else. Just no. No thank you. Then Cleonda has released another new multi-chrome shade, and can we just take a second to just take this photo in? Just look at it. I love Cleonda. I definitely went nuts and picked up a whole bunch of the multi-chrome shadows, the iridescent shadows, like freaking everything. I picked up a bunch, and they are beyond gorgeous. This new shade Regal is stunning. I love that they put it next to Royalty as well, because Royalty is also gorgeous. I mean, those two, they're so pretty. And when I tell you that when I swatched them, they're so soft and so like pigmented. I have no words. No words. Like, people, like other creators would tell me how great Cleonda was, that it's the best in the game, and I was like, but I mean, I love all these other shadows and they're so great. Not to take anything away from those other shadows, because they are also very, very good. Cleonda is 1000% worth the cost, worth the wait, all of it. So freaking good. I mean, I'm getting this. Then we have a luxury brand foundation, and this is from Gucci, and I think there's also a primer included in, yep, foundation and primer. And I just really, my luck with luxury brand foundations has not been that great. I feel like for the amount of money that I'm paying, I expect that stuff to literally look like a second skin on my face and just be flawless. And as of yet, the majority of the high-priced foundations that I have come across all are just cakey as fuck and minimal coverage. You're literally giving me the worst of both worlds. Like, if you're gonna be cakey, at least be full coverage, and if you're gonna be low coverage, don't be cakey. I feel like it's not that hard. But I have yet to find one where they don't manage to mess it up. Maybe if I like win the lottery at some point, I might pick this one up. I don't know. But I also find that I can't really listen to reviews from other YouTubers on these things, because they're like dog fur flying my nose. I can't believe what YouTubers are saying in their recommendations of these products, because every single one of the products that I have gotten that they have recommended for foundations has been trash. And so it's gonna be either that I just bite the bullet and I get it, or that I just accept that luxury foundations are not for me and I stick with the foundations that are flawless on me. So I don't need to pick this up. Speaking of foundations, Fenty is coming out with a new foundation, and this is where it gets me, because I love the two Fenty foundations that I have. I have the like the matte one that they have, and then I have the hydrating one, and I love both of those. Like, I will not get a stick foundation because I hate stick foundations. They're super cakey on me. And now we have this one that is a soft matte powder foundation. I can't get behind it. Like, I feel like this would end up being the same reason why I don't use setting powder, because it gets all up in my fine lines and makes me look super old and cakey, and you can just see that I have makeup on my face, and I feel like this is gonna be the same situation. So I'm gonna pass on this. So the next thing is from an indie brand that I'm not particularly familiar with. It's Yasmin's Glam Room, and this is the Pink Candyland collection. I think that the exterior packaging is adorable. Like, having all like the pepperminty and like gumdrop type thing on there I think is super duper cute. Plus I like pink because I'm basic and it's what I like. I think it's really, really cute. The only thing that is slightly turning me off is that even at this angle, it looks like the bottom middle one at a minimum is a pressed glitter. And I'm kind of getting to the point where if a palette has any pressed glitters in it, I'm not really interested, because I don't want to use pressed glitters anymore on my face, because my eyes already have enough problems as it is right now, especially my left eye, which, as we know, for anyone that's been around for a minute, is my problem eye for keeping eyeshadow and things like that on there. And if I'm gonna have an allergic reaction, it's gonna happen with the left eye. I don't know why it doesn't happen with both, but just left eye. But the pressed glitters to me is just, I'm not interested. And so because that looks like a pressed glitter, I'm probably not going to want to get this. And especially since it's only a 9-pan palette and it has a pressed glitter, you're literally wasting one of very few spots just for a pressed glitter. So unless I can confirm somehow that that's not a pressed glitter, I'm probably not gonna get it, which is a damn shame because again, that exterior packaging is adorbs. Then speaking of adorable packaging, we have from Sugary Cosmetics this lollipop palette, which is, you know, great for Christmas time, but I kind of am at a point where I don't like oddly shaped palettes because I have, until I have my house is ready for me to move into, I am essentially living out of a bedroom and I have one dresser that has my makeup stuff in there, and because I have a purchasing problem, I don't have enough room as it is for everything, and so oddly shaped palettes are a huge turnoff for me because I just don't have the room. And circle palettes in particular I am not a fan of because the only way that I can store them is by laying them down, and this one is even worse because it has a stem. How do you store a palette with a freaking stem? I don't know. Perhaps if you break it off, but then I feel like you're ruining the aesthetic of the entire thing. And so as far as I'm concerned, I'm just not really, I don't need it. So we're just gonna move on from that. Then we have from Juvia's Place, 2 collab quad palettes that they made along with some lipsticks. And the purplish pink one, I don't really need, it's the Melissa, and again, I'm not a huge mauve-y fan, and the liquid lip is way too dark for me because I'm not daring enough to wear dark lipstick. But yeah, that one is not particularly calling out to me. The blue one though, holy balls, that one I can get behind any day of the week. Like that, that looks real nice. And so I have already bought that. It is on its way. Yeah, that is so pretty. It also comes with like a really pretty like white lip gloss, and I mean I don't particularly need the white lip gloss, like that's just not a type of lip gloss shade that I particularly need, but yeah, that blue is so pretty. Man, I'm getting it. Then we have from another indie brand, Noctex Cosmetics. I'm not entirely certain that's how you say it. I have tendency to butcher, you know, the brand names, but they have the Antiquity eyeshadow palette that is coming out, and they've spoilered like 3 of the shades that are coming out, and they appear to all be matte shades, but they are like the gothic deep shades. There's, I think, like a dark teal blue and a dark plummy cranberry mauve shade. I can't remember what the last shade was, but they are definitely like the deeper tones of mattes that I can get behind. And so I'm very interested to see what the rest of the shades are that they're coming out with. And I also really like the packaging. It kind of gives me like old school nautical vibes, which I feel like, given that the name of it is Antiquity, that's probably what they're going for. But I really like it. And so I'll be interested to see what the rest of the shades are. If they are really cool shades, I'm probably gonna pick this up because I really like the outer packaging, and so far the shades that they have released are really pretty. Then we have from Rebel Rouge Labs, which I talked about them in one of my previous indie videos. They had a really awesome release for Halloween that was just so gorgeous. Love that palette. And now they're coming out with the Prelude to Agony palette. The exterior packaging is one of the things that I really love about Rebel Rouge Labs. It's just so, I guess, haunting with the way that it looks. I really love it, and this is no different. Like this exterior palette packaging is gorgeous, and the interior, the shades are interesting choices. I feel like aesthetically it matches the packaging, and so it's appropriate in that regard. It is definitely unique. I don't think I've seen a ton of palettes that have like that combination of those types of pinks and reds with kind of grays and then that yellow. It's definitely an interesting color story, and I don't think they have any pressed glitters in this particular palette, which that was my only critique from the Halloween palette that I got, was that right in the middle you had that pressed glitter. All of the other shades in that palette were freaking gorgeous. Loved it. I had such a cool eye look going, and then I ruined it when I tried to put the pressed glitter on. I should have just quit while I was ahead. And this one does not appear to have any pressed glitters. It looks like it's just a combination of mattes and metallics. I honestly, like, given the quality of the eyeshadows that were in the Halloween palette, if the quality of this palette is just as much, then I could be convinced to get it, because it is some slightly more unique shades as far as like the combination in the palette. I'm fairly certain that I have the majority of those shades already in other palettes that I have. I think this is a maybe for me. I'm gonna hold off for now, but it's definitely a strong maybe. And I can definitely tell you guys that the quality is there. And so if you like this color story, I would highly recommend picking it up. Then the second release that we have from Rebel Rouge Labs, they have a bunch of new liquid lipsticks, and these are for sure very unique shades. And I'm honestly very intimidated by all of the shades, because like even what could potentially be considered like a neutral shade is still not like a normal neutral shade. I mean, these are very intimidating to me. I would never wear these unless I was attempting to do like another Instagram challenge makeup look, but the packaging is cute with their logo on there. For people that are more daring, that love to wear these types of shades, I would check it out. Like I think they're really cool shades. I think they're awesome probably around Halloween time. But for me, I'm not good at doing things outside the box when it comes to my mouth. I don't know why I just said that. But either way, like my eyes are the place that I tend to make like interesting makeup looks. My mouth I tend to keep fairly neutral. So this is beyond me as far as like my skill and comfort zone, but I think it's awesome that they are coming up with just some really creative colors on there. So props to them, and definitely check it out if you are someone that enjoys super duper colorful lips. Then we have another collection that is from ColourPop, and this one is wine themed. And I guess if you are someone that really enjoys mauvey reddish tones, you're gonna love this. But for me, I am not a fan of those. I tend to lean obviously more towards greens and blues and golds. I like myself some pop, and these are just a little bit too neutrally for me. They are also coming out with looks like several Super Shock shadows, which the formula for the Super Shocks I can always get behind, but I have the ones that I like, and so I don't really need any more right now. But yeah, it looks like they also have a new eyeliner, which is also nice. Their eyeliners are not awesome to me. There are other companies that I prefer for my eyeliner, so I think I'm just gonna pass on this whole collection. Then from e.l.f. Cosmetics, we have some new shadow sticks, which I actually like. I don't mind shadow sticks, because if I'm in like a hurry and I don't have time to do amazeballs looks like this, then eyeshadow sticks are kind of like my go-to, because it's just real easy to put one shade on, throw on some mascara, and I'm good to go. And so I wouldn't mind trying a few of these to see what the formula is like. And I mean, since e.l.f. is super inexpensive, it's not like I'd be breaking the bank to try it. And so I think some of those shades, like especially this like blue steel shade, it is actually called blue steel. I mean, for any of my Zoolander fans out there, like, I just gotta have it. So I'm gonna give that one a go. The second release that e.l.f. had that they came out with is this camo CC cream. I have a couple CC creams that I have picked up recently. I haven't had a chance to test them out yet, but I would kind of like to, because I've heard from other people that they're kind of similar to like a cross between a foundation and a tinted moisturizer. And so I would be interested in testing them out. And I mean, again, e.l.f. is super inexpensive, and so I wouldn't mind trying it to see if I like it, but I'm still not 100% sure what a CC or a BB cream is, but I wouldn't mind testing this out just to see if it's good, if I like it, if it's like that perfect balance between a tinted moisturizer and a foundation, in that it would like give a little bit more coverage than a tinted moisturizer, but still have that nice glowy finish without like being cakey. Like that would be the ideal. Okay, then the first of two new releases from Givenchy. You can tell I'm not bougie enough to know how to say it properly, but we have this really, I mean, honestly, the picture makes it look real nice. This lipstick, and I mean, you guys know I don't like lipstick, but this looks really pretty. I would be very curious to know if that gold that they have mixed in with the red is just on top of it, and as you use it, the gold goes away, in which case, fuck that, man, that's a waste of my time. But if it is mixed in with the red and you get this like really nice orange lip out of it, I could go for that. Like I'd be all right with that. So I need to wait and see what people end up saying about it, because I'm not going to spend the type of money that Givenchy requires to get a lipstick if I'm not sure if it's good or not. But I would be very interested and curious to see what kind of color and how long that gold lasts on the stick. And if it does last and it continues to blend, I could be convinced, because the packaging is real pretty. And that shade is, I mean, if it becomes an orange, I could definitely get behind it, because I love a really nice coral orange. It looks real pretty. The second release from Givenchy is a quad of loose eyeshadow powder. I don't think I've ever seen something like this before, where they make a quad of loose powder. I am 100% not interested in that. That is terrifying to me. Like that's literally, I'm gonna make a mess times 1,000. So and it's all very light pastel-y shades, which I have the pastels that I need in a pressed powder form. This is terrifying for me. I legitimately want nothing to do with this, because I just know that if I attempt to open any of that to use any of those shades, it's gonna go everywhere. So that's a hard no for me. Then we have from Benefit, because they're still a company that's around, guys, in case anyone forgot, they exist. Apparently, they have come out with not another brow product, but they came out with the Professional Super Setter setting spray. So if you were wanting to check out the quality of their setting sprays, now you can. I'm not a huge fan of the primers that they have. I know that a lot of people love their primers, but for me, they tend to be a little bit too greasy. And especially like for eyeshadow primers, I don't want a greasy primer, because my eyelids do tend to get a little bit oily in general already. And so if I have a greasy primer on there, it's gonna just be a mess and nothing's gonna stay on there. And so I do need more of a mattifying eyeshadow primer. But the setting spray, who knows if it's good or not? I don't know, but I'm probably just gonna wait and see if anyone says that it's good. But I feel like with setting sprays, you just either have the ones that you like or you have the ones that you don't. I'm not really in the market for a new one. I have the ones that I like, and it's probably gonna take me a decade to get through them because a lot of times I'm just doing my makeup in the evenings and I don't need a setting spray for it, because I'm just doing my makeup for me, because I don't have a social life, and so I don't need a setting spray to make it last all night. So probably not gonna get that. So Menagerie Cosmetics, we don't know what this is going to be, but this is all that was teased for their next product that is coming out next year. If the color story of that palette is anything like what I am seeing on here with those plums and purples and the greens, if it includes those shades, I'm gonna get it 100%, because I love purple, and this is like the warm toned palette of my dreams, if that's what it includes, because it has like those fuchsia-y purples. So that's what I want in my life. But again, we don't know what it is, but I'm real mad that we don't know, because I need to know and I need to have it. So that's how I feel about that. So then we have from Glam Vice Cosmetics some duochrome retro liners, and there are 8 different shades of them. And I could get behind this for sure, absolutely. They're very pretty. I think the only one that I would actually pass on, surprisingly, would be the blue one, because I feel like with some of the deeper blue tones, if they are duochrome or multichrome in nature, it's really hard to get it to where you can see the other shades, because the blue is just so overwhelming. And so I think that one I would end up passing on, because especially for a duochrome, I've hardly ever found where I see anything but the blue. And so I think that's just not necessary for me to get. But I would be super interested to see like the green one, where it's primarily the green and then there is a little bit of the bluish tint along with it. I think that one has been done very well, as well as the purple to blue. I think that's a real nice shift. But the dark navy blue one, I can't even tell by looking at it what other color it's mixed with. Like every one of the other shades, you can kind of, at least to a certain extent, see what the other shade is that it would shift to. And on the blue one, I can't. But the others, they all look very nice. Especially the top 2 in the middle, the yellowish, goldish green ones, those for sure I could get behind. That coppery orange one on the outside probably as well. So I'm definitely gonna pick up at least a few of these. I think we can definitively say that I'm okay with that. Then next we have from Denisa Myricks. And so her palettes and products in general that she has are primarily cream products, which I am terrified of. I don't do well with cream products. Literally the only cream things that I can use are foundation and concealer. If you give me anything else in cream form, I'm gonna F it up real bad. The brand in general is beyond intimidating to me, but I did have a friend of mine on here who is also another YouTube creator, and that is the amazing Eeyore, also known as Emily Original. Make sure you guys go check her out. I'm gonna link her channel down below in the description. But she had mentioned how awesome Denisa Myricks was, and so I feel like, because I trust her judgment, that I'm gonna give it a go, and if there's one thing that I need to give it a go on, it's gonna be multi-chromes, because I love me some good multi-chromes. I am going to pick up a few of these shades to try them out, and I am real excited. For multi-chromes, I can be convinced to try a cream product. And the swatches look very pretty. So I'm gonna pick these up. And then we have the second release from Denisa Myricks, which is the last product that we're gonna talk about today. This is the Balm Contour. So it is a complexion product, and it is cream, and it is contour. And for anyone that was not around when I first started my YouTube channel, I'm gonna link the video where I tried 5 different cream contour looks. You can go and watch me stress for however long that video was, but it was rough. I'm not getting this product. It's terrifying. And again, cream is just, I can't do it. I'm gonna stick with the multi-chrome eyeshadow liners. I'm gonna pass on this. That was all of the new makeup releases, guys, that I wanted to talk about for the end of the year. Anti-hauling like 99% of that. But yeah. Let me know down in the comments down below what you guys are interested in, what you're wanting to pick up or not pick up, whatever it ends up being. Let me know if you hated my opinion on these and you think it's trash and you're like, why is she even providing her thoughts? I want to know. But yeah, give me a thumbs up if you liked this video, thumbs down if you hated it. Feel free, just let me know whichever way. And if you made it this far into the video and you have not yet subscribed, hit the subscribe, man. Come on. You made it to the end of the video, do it. Just subscribe. Then you get to see me all the time. But that was my video. That was the new makeup releases for the end of the year. And you guys just, you know what? Have an awesome Christmas coming up. I'm gonna probably pop a video out the day after Christmas. So have a Merry Christmas if you are someone that celebrates Christmas. Otherwise, whatever holiday you want to celebrate, I hope you have a great one for that. And let's get ready for 2021, guys. Let's do it.